It's maple syrup season, and this is something I'm going to use to help collect the sap. Last year was my first year of making maple syrup, and I made these to help collect the sap from the trees that I then boiled down to make maple syrup. I'm going to show you what exactly this is and how we use it, and then later on we're going to go out and tap some trees and get started for collecting our maple syrup for the 2019 season. There are many ways for collecting sap from maple trees for making maple syrup. For many, many years, people would hang buckets from the trees and the sap would drip from the spile or the tap into the bucket, and then they would go around collecting the buckets and then they would boil it down. Many more advanced or larger operations will use a series of tubing that connects from tree to tree to tree and either uses gravity to have that sap flow downhill into a large bin. Some larger operations even yet will use a vacuum system to pull the sap into a large system where they can then collect it and boil it down. We live in a suburban neighborhood where there's a lot of traffic. And so to make our sap collection a little less obvious, we use sap bags, and after we hang the sap bags from the trees, we wrap the tree in burlap. It's a little bit more time to collect the sap because you've got to take the burlap down, then take the sap bags and empty them and rehang them and then put the burlap back up. But I found that not only does it make our sap collection a little less obvious, but it also acts as a deterrent against squirrels chewing through the bags. Last year I lost one bag to a squirrel before I put the burlap up. After I put the burlap up, I didn't have any trouble with squirrels. Hopefully we'll have the same success this year. So let's get started and I'll show you what this is and how we use it to help collect sap. So this is a sap bag holder. I made about 20 of them myself last year and it worked great. What you do is you attach the bag to the bottom of this, and then after tapping the tree with a spile, you hang this from the spile and the sap drips into the bag. Now when it's time for collection, you take it off the spile and then you take the top off, dump the sap into the bucket, put the cap back on, hang it back on the tree. It's as simple as that. This is what it looks like after the sap bag has been attached. This is a 2 or 3 gallon sap bag, and they work great. I didn't have any failures of bags last year. I take that back. I did have one bag fail on me last year. And then I had another bag that was chewed through by a squirrel. So I guess that's 2 bags that I had fail last year. But not bad considering I had 15 taps running with these bags, and we ran for 5 or 6 weeks. These are something that I can reuse from year to year. Now the sap bags you don't reuse. Those you just take off. They're held on with a couple of zip ties and you throw them away. Next year, new sap bags, new zip ties, and you're good to go. So to attach the sap bags to the sap bag holders, you just need a bag, 2 zip ties, good ones, good thick ones, and your sap bag holder. So you want to get the sap bag holder in the middle of the bag. Pinch the ends to get as tight of a fit as you can. And then just start wrapping it around both ways. And then fold it back onto itself, like so. Grab a couple of zip ties, one at a time, put one on. Tighten it up as best you can. Not all the way down, you want to leave a little bit of room here down at the bottom for the second zip tie. But you want to get it as close to the bottom as you can with leaving enough room. Zip it as tight up as you can. Grab your side cuts. Clip off the end, and then you take this and you fold it over itself, like so, and then you get your second zip tie. Make sure it's underneath the first one, below the first one. Zip it up tight as you can get it, clip it off, and that's it. And then this you want to position in such a way that it sits well on the tree. This is where the tree is going to be on this side, so you want it to be as flat to the tree as you can. So you just have to spin this around till you get it where you need it. And that's it. Piece of cake. That's all there is to it. Next, we go outside, tap the trees, hang the bags, wrap the burlap, and wait for the temperatures to climb. All right, next step is to put the taps in the trees. And I have all three of my little helpers here to help out. All three of them are here. We're gonna get the drill out, drill some holes in the tree. Yeah, we aren't gonna use the holes from last year because they won't work. We have to go a little bit, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 inches away from them.
Okay.
Okay?
Can I hammer?
When we get the holes drilled, you can. What you want to do is see this blue tape here? Do you want to do the first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it.
You can do the next one. All right, you see this blue spot right here?
Yeah.
You're gonna drill in up to there and then you're gonna stop. So I'm gonna get you started. This is the hole from last year. Okay, we wanna be kind of on the south side of the tree. And you wanna look for either a big branch that goes up and out or a big root like right here. So we don't wanna go too close to last year's hole. So we're gonna go maybe 3 or 4 inches over this way. Hold on, I'm gonna get you started. And then you're just gonna go in at kind of, see how it's upward just a little bit? There you go, got you started. Go ahead and just nice and steady. Squeeze the trigger the whole way and just push it in. Keep squeezing the trigger. Now keep going. All right, you ready to?
Yep. It's coming right out.
Yep, the sap's coming out. Do you see it? So to put this in, you put the long end in. Okay, you can go next.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay, you put that in. Okay. And then you just give it a few taps. There you go. A little bit more. Okay, Allie, you take this. Allie, you take the sap bag, and you know how to hang it, right? You did that last year. You don't remember? Okay, so you take this, just kind of stick it in there, and then it hangs just like that. There you go. Nice job. All right, Caleb, you're next. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, come over here. Okay, look out, Allie. All right, Caleb, we're gonna drill a hole right about here, okay? I'm gonna get you started. All right, Caleb, go ahead and squeeze the trigger and push it in. Keep going.
Good job.
Keep squeezing the trigger. Keep going. All right, that's it. You can let go now. All right. That one's, yep. All right, so we get this started just like that. Ready?
Yes.
Let me have that, please. Thank you. Okay, let me help you the last couple taps, okay? All right, there, we're all done. All right. Yeah, so one of the things we look for is a big root trunk like this. A big branch up there. You need to have both here. This one's going to be this side. You look for the hole from last year's hole. And go here, a little bit farther over. So how about right about and an upward angle like that. There we go.
Can I see inside of that hole?
Oh, you brought another one. Abby already brought one. I went up a little bit too high of an angle, so it's harder to get this one in. Okay, so take that end, walk around the other end of the tree.
Cool.
Just pull it tight. Just kind of roll it over itself like that, keep it in place. Use this clip. That's it. There are many ways to collect syrup. You don't collect syrup, you collect sap. There are many ways to collect syrup. There are many ways to collect sap from the maple tree for making syrup. Many people use cans and bottles, buckets.